Alright, hello everyone. So, we lost to FreeZe. We lost 5-0. I think I'm putting in the title even because that's really what makes this analysis kind of like interesting. Because normally, well, very few people do analysis of the sets in the first place, but most people that do, it's gonna be like of sets they won or whatever. But this is not a set we won, so that's why I thought it might be interesting to actually just to, take a look at this and see what we can discover together. So of course I played the set, so I do have some insight of what went down, but at the same time I'm gonna be watching the top-down view for the first time. If you don't know, it's for Transatlantic Splatoon League, which is like a league I'm hosting for top teams, 5 best teams from Europe, 5 from North America. So this was our first set in the league, and we're playing FreeZe, which of course is a pretty strong team, but we had a time to prepare for it and so on. So first of all, tower control Mandamari is not anyone's pick. It was kind of like already in the map list, so this is not either side's pick, but either way. So we knew it beforehand. We had it scrimmed and all that. So it's pretty interesting. So first of all, maybe I should actually pause because this is gonna this goes pretty fast. But so I'm playing Crim. I think I'm pretty much the only player playing Crim at like high level currently. At least I can't really think of anyone who would do it on the regular. Like people sometimes play it, but not that often. I've been playing it quite a bit actually. And I think Manda TC on average is a really good map for us. Like we played this pretty well in scrims. And I'd say when we're pushing, we're very strong. When we're defending, then it's a bit more iffy sometimes, but on average it goes pretty well. But okay, just from my perspective, like what I was surprised about this opening, I'd say almost every backline goes to the bunker at the start, like almost every backline. But Sarah actually goes to the opposite side, so you can actually see Sarah like drop down here. Normally I'm used to the backlines playing this, and if they play this, it's very good kill for Grim to get this line. So I was kind of like caught off guard that Sarah actually went here, and it kind of like messed up my start a little bit, as we can see here. So I'm kind of like getting stuck here against Sarah, but I can't really move that much, and I'm kind of like expecting like maybe someone would expose themselves here, but they don't, and it happens really fast. So basically, I mean, like yeah, like I'm like okay, there's no one that I could really do anything against. So I back down, Fizzy gets dropped on my feet, I die, and that's basically where the situation unfolds. So basically, us wiping here is the it's really like the thing we shouldn't have done here. So I talk about like, of course, the guy who dies first is always kind of like responsible for the situation in the first place. But yeah, I don't know. Even now, like, yeah, I would play differently if I would replay this. But it's kind of like, yeah, sometimes you die to some random bomb and you can't really do much against it. But I think as a team we could have. Okay, we die here, so we know we die. TASL armored. We are screwed pretty much at this point. So at this point, it just becomes a game of like don't wipe. Like everyone needs to go back. Needs to go back a lot. But I mean, I think that's Creamy getting a nice double there. So it didn't happen that way, but that's what we need to do. And basically, how TC works is that once you die once and you wipe once, you have no specials. You respawn into no map control, no specials. It's just a nightmare. Like, if you wipe TC at the start, that's pretty much the whole game. Like, even here, like, I don't know, like, how should we have played it differently? Like, there's not really anything, like... like, if we're watching it now, like, I don't think there could have been anything that useful we could have done. And when they wipe us the second time, we have no map control, so that's another problem, so... I don't know. I think maybe watching this back, maybe it would be smarter to just like even give up like 70 points, like something crazy like that. Because the thing with TC is that, you know, if you wipe at the start, then pretty much unless they screw up, they're gonna push that much anyway. And then it becomes a question if they push 70 points or 100 points, and here we let them push 100 points. And I mean, when you watch it like this, it's like, oh my god, we got destroyed, like there's nothing we get done, but It's just the wipe at the start is so bad, and that's like, normally if this is a game and you play it, and you kind of like, well, nice game I guess, let's replay, and then the replay is a very different game. So the wipers decide the whole game there, and then, I mean, anyone knows like playing against strong teams that wipe you is a nightmare due to the reasons I just went over. So I don't know. I wasn't really like, I was kind of like, okay, like I didn't really feel much for that loss in itself, because I kind of know like, yeah, like if they do that to us, then it sometimes be like that, and just gotta focus on the next game. So this is actually FreeZe's counter pick, and I was really surprised about the counter picks this set. So we barely played Wahoo Splatoons because I didn't think they would actually pick this against us. I still don't really understand why they did it, but fair enough. Like last time we scrimped this, I'm pretty sure we like won against them as well and stuff like that. So that's why I wasn't really expecting this pick, but maybe they have some knowledge of this that I don't. But yeah, I'm playing Sorella. I think this was actually like probably my strongest game in the set even. It's at least close to it. I'd say we would have benefited a bit more scrimming this. I'd say our hold strat is pretty solid, but our retake is something we could have drilled a bit more. Just to see different situations and play it a bit better. But yeah, playing Sorella Dent here. I think it's really strong here against teams like FreeZe as well, compared to the alternatives. It's just really obnoxious playing against it. But the start is pretty standard, I'd say. I believe we get the curling rush off. Well, I don't quite actually know like why we backed off that much. Actually, what happened there? Like, why are we playing so far back when we have the curling rush going in? The Brian is like alone getting picked off, and I guess because the armor, but then I get the double there. Yeah, I mean, still solid. I was a surprise. We could have maybe played even more aggro considering we knew we were gonna have the curling rush. So a hold. So this was the part that was supposed to be even maybe a bit stronger for us even. They have to retake with a bunch of specials here. Watson is kind of like in an awkward position because he's playing all the way here. Like, what if they just go through here like they did? He's really very slow at reacting to this, I think. It's just because of his position. Like here. And now, when the situation is like this, it's like nightmare for Watson because he is not in range to get kills on any of these three guys. At the same time, he's not... You know, if it just like walks in, he gets shot in the back by Terra. So I think his Sharkin here was expecting them to take more like a retake like this, but they instead went like all mid, which is kind of like, I guess, a bit surprising even. But yeah, like you can see like how he's kind of like in the end like late, and he's like can get a good position here, and then kind of like as a side consequence of that, I'm like kind of like playing alone here, and it's kind of like, well, GG's at that point. Like, yeah, like they get a big with Stingray. I guess that's kind of like expected. Sometimes they get like at least one Stingray, but yeah, then when Brian also gets picked off and Watson is kind of like out of position due to the, like, not really necessarily even a misplay, just like unexpected situations happening, then yeah, just like kind of like how the hold crumbles. So yeah, I get the curling rush so early, so I often play quite aggro here. Like even here we get Watson is alone on, like, so I think maybe our downfall for retakes was that we just don't handle the right side that well. Like it's normally a pretty strong thing for us to do. Like here this kind of works out. I think I get on the double or something like this, so it kind of like works out. But we didn't really. We could have benefit from drilling this map more, just so we have the proper like retake from the right side, because I don't think us retaking the same way FreeZe did against us is the best either. That's like once in Stingray, the GG type of situation. But Yeah, like here I'm playing with Watsam, and this is basically what I want. Like Watsam following up on me, even if it didn't work out in that situation, but still, that's because they have to commit to the curling. I mean, the 10 so much on the right side is that just having someone there to capitalize on that is so big. But yeah, now I think this retake should go pretty well if I'm not misremembering. So I'm playing with Watsam on the right side. This is kind of like what I want. So see, like Watsam exposed and he gets killed, but I still get a kill. So as long as it's 1v1, I can fight that, right? So it's not a hard situation for me to just do a 1v1. The hard situation is when I have to do like a 2v1 or like 1v2. And I get a jump to Watsam, he gets right back in and does his stuff, and now we're playing together again. So this was like, I think, the best situation the whole game from us in terms of me and Watsam playing together. And that's like what we're kind of like struggling to do sometimes, to utilize the tent fully. And yeah, like when we get separated like we do here, I think this is like where I go alone on the right side. Like I'm making assumptions that are not true. Like for example here I'm kind of like thinking maybe Watsam is closer than he actually is, but he's kind of like watching the inkset, I think, or something. I was kind of surprised about this, but I think he's just... There's just the inkset I didn't really register that much. It's kind of expecting Watsam to be right behind me because I knew he was respawning and coming that way, but maybe because of the inkset he just wasn't there as fast, and then we couldn't like do the same thing we did in the previous retake. And you know how Splatoon is, like you mess up once like that and it's pretty much a KO already, so there's not a lot of margin for error. Overall, like, yeah, like, it's a loss, and we didn't really get... We only got the one proper hold. But even then, I think this is a chance to be a much closer game than it actually was. Like, the first hold, if they had chose a bit different retake, a bit more common retake, I think we would have gone a lot better already. And for the retakes, I just think, like, if you're expecting to play Wahoo Splatoon in the future, which is just like to thrill it more, just try to... Yeah, like to be confident in different situations that happen in those retakes, but yeah, unexpected counterpick that we lost in the end, so it's kind of interesting. So yeah, our counterpick time. So Splatoon's Humpback. This is a pretty strong map for us, I'd say. I still think it is. So we've won it against Stream, for example, in tournament. We won it in like good Japanese teams, like played well against good Japanese teams on it. So I'd say it's still like a solid map for us. In terms of FreeZe, I don't think it's like the map where they can utilize their biggest strengths either. So I still think it's like a solid retake at least. I mean solid counterpick, sorry. Also a very like nice map to play with tent, I gotta say. So yeah, FreeZe doesn't really surprise with their comps. Like it's pretty like they play the same kind of stuff. Like I don't think we ever got surprised about what they run. Like it works the other way as well, I guess. So yeah, our starts are a problem. Like it feels like whenever our starts works, it's kind of like wow, oh I got a double. Like I don't normally get a double, so if I get a double and we now start off that, then it's kind of like, well, it's not gonna happen so often. And overall, because we're not playing like the fast armor, like we don't play a guy who has Spain's armor at the start, right? So at this point, Zap has 42, Try has 10, so there's no way he's gonna get the armor anytime soon. So we should really like try to discuss this in and practice in scrims. But I don't think it's like the only way you can play a start to get like early armor and just wow, rush them. You know, that works too, and it's a thing you can do, but I think for us, we would benefit more from playing in a way where maybe just play a bit more chill, play a bit from behind. Yeah, they use the armor, but just the armor, if there's no easy picks for the armor guys to take, they have to like extend more and more and more, and maybe that's a situation we could utilize here. So I would probably like think if we can even play this, even if this map we drilled a lot, but Yeah, it's a question, like, should we play it a bit more safer even? But here, like, what even kills Brian? Like, Zeros gets some insane pick here, I think. Yeah, like, that's not an easy pick to take, I'm pretty sure. So again, like, that's like how they get the start, like how they get some foothold on the start. It's just some insane pick right there. And every time a pick like that happens, you can like expect it to lose the start. So I think I get like a pick here or something. Maybe even 2 picks. So it kind of like prevents them from taking a full control. But this is so bad. Like no, I need. So never jump here. Like never ever jump here. Because of this. He wasn't even aiming for Otsuru. I actually it's entirely possible that he saw the jump and was just aiming for it as well. But even if it wasn't for that, there might be a bomb or something. Like, no, just never jump there. That's for sure. We kind of like almost lose space here. I say almost, but we didn't intend. Like, we got the specials off at least. This is so sad. Look where he gets the... Like, I'm going for to knock this. He literally gets it right once I drop here and I'm committed to going to it. He gets like it right here. Like, that's so toxic. Like, I'm already like committed to going here. He says 98. Oh, he has it and he says blast downs, and that's like the one good thing blast down is for. He just blast down the hammer and it just feels the worst thing ever. Unlucky, I guess. But yeah, that thing alone lets them get the... Because if I could knock this there, like think about it, I could like constantly the hammer here, I can get the shield through the zone. So we could stop it at 44, maybe get a full wipe at that point, but yeah, it's just stuff like that. But at the same time, we can't really like move in with the hammer, so that's a problem too. Yeah, I mean, once again, like we get picked up once and then the whole team's just gone. But I'm pretty happy we got a retake here still. So Watson, I think... Yeah, this distraction works really well. Like, you can see they were playing around this area here. Watson drops here. It's just being annoying and the whole team rotates here. Like, they rotate it correctly, but thanks to the rotation, I can get, like, a proper hammer here. And this hammer, when I do this, it's not really meant to, like, go in and get a quad or something. It's just meant to be distracting and help for our players to get back in and maybe get kills on the guys that are distracted. And yeah, if I can get kills, that's great. I think I get at least one here. And then I get picked off, but we get the retake, which was the only thing we needed here. But yeah, my hammer on Humpback is pretty interesting, I think. It just works quite often and it forces the enemy to do things that they want to do, which is just good for us after all. So yeah, it's not really like a full control for us. And that's every time we don't get a full control. I think when the situation is more like a scramble, our comp is not the strongest. When we have a full control, our comp is really strong. So that's always something that I always keep in mind in these games. Like when the maps looks like this, it's a bit of a iffy situation for us. It can go either way. Oh, this feels so bad, man. Look at this shot again. Like, Terra is just so good. Like, look at this. This is like max range right here. And the angle is not even that big, in my opinion. Like, I just didn't expect to get killed there. Like, I just didn't expect it. And, yeah. But it's not a disaster. We also managed to get some stuff going. I think Watson, like, being like a sneaky guy here is doing a lot for us. Yeah, he's getting a nice, like, around. Like, when you think about, like, how I would say our comp is, quite often I want to just be a distraction and then for Watson to, you know, be able to like sneak past them, like they lose track of Watson or maybe they can't look at the angle that Watson is gonna come from, and I think it is working pretty well. Like what I'm not like seeing, it's not working that well for Otsuru so far, so I'm not seeing like I would expect the Otsuru to be able to do the same kind of things. But he's playing maybe a bit... different. Like, I'm not sure. We need to discuss that a bit, like how he should play. So this is the common dentist spot on Humpback. And the motivation here is not really to get like huge kills. It's more like to force them to do this, basically. To force all of them to drop from here. And then I have their blood or whatever. But I actually, well, I wonder how this plays out. So I get the hammer from behind them. There's also like a chance to get the almost triple there, but it didn't. But yeah, basically that's like actually like perfectly showing what I want to do on Humpback. So I don't want to die here. That's my main motivation. I just stay alive here. I be annoying. If they rush me, they have high chance of getting killed with a bomb or explosion or whatever from the mid. If they do that, then hello, hammer from behind. Like, we only have to survive a little bit and they literally will get destroyed. And we almost get like the win the game of that. Like, just a couple things could have gone better, would have been KO. That's so sad, but then Brian can hold that and they get the retake and we get big ass penalty here. But yeah, like the same thing will go again. Yeah, same thing. Expect now maybe a bit more late here. Like I get stuck when going to freeze. This sometimes happens. I don't know. It's kind of like can't really like. They can also choose to do that. On average, it's not that strong for them. But yeah, I kind of get in a bad position here. Like I have to pop the hammer. Like, let's see that again. So I have to hammer. Like the problem is that I can't really hammer yet because it's just too obvious and they only have to hammer to watch out for, so they will for sure get the kill on the hammer. So the timings are just a bit unfortunate because like here I actually would have preferred Watson than Sam to me, because then we could have had the 2-direction retake here. Instead, if I hammer here and Watson drops, it's so obvious for them to get picks on both pretty much, and we are not here yet. I should have like went in now though, because we're already here, but it was tricky timing because now Noct is already on me and it's kind of like I'm out of position at that point. It was like so slightly unfortunate timings. Like again, like, slightly better timing and that would be a very different situation. But there, not really much you can do. Let's try to get a kill on Noctis if he wants to drop on me for some reason. But at the same time, we get a kind of like a retake of that as well, because they still have to like kind of like play it more slow if I'm there behind them. Yeah, we have like a pretty like even line here with like 4 players. Yeah, I mean that's pretty okay, but they go here, so we come hell. Brian is like, when Brian's forced to drop here, that's kind of like he bowlers in, I guess. It's like okay, but they kind of like almost like bait us really. And here is like hammer, like sometimes you just hammer and then yeah, they just don't expose themselves or whatever, or like they jump out, or you can go various ways. But yeah, I managed to like get back to the plat pretty fast, so it's fine. So this is a tricky situation as well. Watsam like I'm kind of like hoping like Otsure would be more with Watsam here even. Like Watsam is dying alone so much, and he's not even in a bad position, but like more like Otsure could like play the like go from Brian to Watsam more. He's playing more on Brian now, it's fine, but he could also play more on Watsam here. And this is kind of like, well, I'm like against 2 guys here. Like the problem with Tent is that once you commit to the plat, you can't really like decide, oh hey, I'm out of here. Like if you're like if I'm playing Junior, I can be like, I'm fighting you, oh never mind, just choking, and then just like get off. And it works that way because the weapon is so fast and you just can't do that. With Tent, no you can't. Because even if I like get off here, like they just drop on me and kill me or snipe me or whatever. So I have to like stay here. I have to take a 2v1 even if 1v2 even if I don't want to. I should try to get a kill. Like it's like the only thing I really have an option to do for. But for that situation to happen, the middle kind of like has to be lost already. So I don't know, like. But there was so many situations where it's just like a tiny bit better, and we would have KO'd that. Like that's so sad, but it is what it is sometimes, I guess. Overall, I think we were still playing our game plan, and I wasn't even that loss wasn't to me like that bad. Like yeah, like we're losing off counter pick is not like great, but the game was fine. Like I wouldn't say we played it badly or anything. Alright, so this is more Crim stuff. So I was playing a bunch of Tunio here, but Tunio seemed really weak, like can't really do much, and the armor is not that useful. Crim worked pretty well, from what I tried in the scrims. But this is kind of like a boring game most of the time. I believe like around like half of it is almost like nothing happening. We're not good at Clam blitz, and based on this game I don't think FreeZe is that great of it either. Like yeah, they pushed up but no clams, so we can just push them right back. Like that's nothing. In Clam blitz, I kind of like would like to see more like from us what they're trying to do is control the middle. When you have the clams, then you can push. But teams that are not comfortable at controlling the middle and just chilling are not gonna do so well in Clam blitz. That has kind of like been a problem sometimes. Like here they get in the picks, but like it doesn't really matter because they have no clams. Ha, double. Funny splashdown. Oh, this is, yeah, like I was too greedy. Like the problem with things is that you get so greedy when you see them and then you can like, they get wrecked, and that was my bad because the jump was exposed, so there was no reason to take the risk there. Instead should have just waited for the jump to come down and then get the kill on the guy landing. But yeah, Crim is, I think, something that I really like playing when I have guys playing in front of me. When I don't have a guys playing in front of me, it becomes really weak, so that really depends, but yeah. Our first like proper hold attempt, so we play more for the clams, more than FreeZe in any case. Like now we have a bunch of clams, we could start a push maybe. But then again, we don't really have space. I'm kind of like, if I could get missiles in, it would be so nice. This should have really been a push though. But yeah, like... This is not even that surprising to happen. I just wasn't really like thinking that well. Because I wanted to get the missiles in, which I think is correct. But even here, like... There's not really any excuse for this to happen because... Oh, let's see. Well, no. I was thinking maybe I could have like taken it with missiles, but I was already like Nokis was already on me at that point, so I was already dead. But I shouldn't like think of this as safe. I kind of like maybe overestimated how safe this area of the map is. I should have probably like rotated here, like look at where my teammates are and maybe like go directly behind them and play this angle. The reason I'm playing this is because this is like kind of like the prime area for Crim is to like play this area here and get shots on the guys on the plat. When I'm playing here, there's too many blocks and too many stuff, so that's why I'm like naturally gravitated playing towards the right side, but I didn't probably take in account Noctis flanking. That's kind of like unfortunate because that kind of like kills the chance for a push we had there. It's just that one kill. This is waste too much time and they could kind of like get a bit more foothold here. But this situation still actually continues, so let's see. So we just can't get in, like that's so bad, but we just can't get in. Like then what's some kind of like... We were just playing too passive there. Like, think about this. If Watsum goes in, if me and Notsuru go in at the same time, for sure someone dies, maybe two guys dies, but actually we really will wipe them. So I'd say this is maybe a miscommunication. That would be like interesting to watch that with EC, but I'd say that's a miscommunication and us not like... Us playing a very different game at the same time, and yeah, that's just like a lot of like... unfortunate and sloppy stuff why we couldn't get the push there. And then they get kind of like some kind of like push, but I mean 65 on Inkblood is like nothing. Like that's bit when they push to 65 I'm like, well, that's not a push. Like it might as well be like to 80. Like Inkblood is so easy to like extend the lead, so I wasn't that. that like nervous about that. But the problem here is that we've been controlling the most of the game, but we just can't push in. And our comp kind of like is most often more comfortable about like holding an area rather than pushing sometimes. But it's also a comp that also can snowball really easily. So it's kind of like we just need to get the ball rolling, and then good stuff start happening. But here we just can't get the ball rolling in terms of like the first push to get on the plat. So here Noctis is kind of like, even now, like, why aren't we pushing in? Actually, I missile and then I'm kind of like, yeah, let's push in, but then we're already dead at that point. I don't know, if I guess if I was close to missiles, maybe it was the right call after all. Like, the missiles on the plat is so strong, but we kind of like died at the same time even. So it didn't really work that way. Like, because when we get the kill on Noctis, it's a big position for us to maybe do something. But yeah, then we can like die when I went for the missiles. Maybe I should. We should. I was maybe like over focused, and maybe we were over focused on like getting any specific special to push in with. It's more like if we have a pick and we have the full map control, why are we not pushing in? Like, just get the specials later or whatever. It's not like necessary to get like kills. Like, that was maybe like a real downfall of this game. It's just not like being accurate enough. But this is like, in itself, as a controlling game, this is not like bad looking game from us. Especially considering I don't think Clam is a good map mode for us. But that's kind of whatever. Like, this is preferable for us that they open because we get the free Clam here. Again, like, we just need to be really fast here. Like, well, Baron getting picked off there. I don't know. He was in the ball. I think this got destroyed or something. But I still think we had the right idea there. We just need to be fast to push that plat. I just wish we had that idea a bit earlier as well. Because it really, this, again, like looking back at it, it seems like our game to win, which we didn't then because of a bit too like safe, passive gameplay. Because if you start like playing in a way where you're just waiting for them to make some big mistake, it might never come. So sometimes you just kind of like start to make stuff yourself. Even now, we just not. I would really like wish Otsuru would take more aggro positions sometimes. Faster. I think he's just a bit late. Like, he should be up there in the same line with Watsam sometimes. Like this last push, it's just a miscoordination. But we didn't talk about it because here, like, us are playing on this line here, and then Watsam is here. But why is Otsuru not also here? And this is like a team that can plays itself again and again. Like, why are we playing? Like, I think for me and Brian, this position can like make sense. But then we also would need like someone to Otsuru already be like here or whatever. So we need definitely like discuss this a bit more, like how we wanna play our offense. And yeah, after that, like nothing that interesting. Again, I think it was our game to win, but yeah, just gotta play faster. When we have an advantage, we need to play it fast. Like, I don't think we are playing it fast enough when we have an advantage, or we're not being decisive enough, or we're waiting for the. Like, we already have a good situation. We're waiting for something that could maybe make it great, but by waiting for the great situation, it actually turns out to be like something happens and then it went from good to bad, pretty much. Here, nicely my sound dies. Well, not dies, but it dies from one side of my headphones and goes like super staticky, which is, I don't know, I didn't even mention it because we're already down 4-0, so it's not like we're gonna lose the set to that, but I also don't like it for Junior because I like to listen to audio cues where the enemy are, the position based on that a lot, so it wasn't really like a nice surprise, but whatever. Let's pick it off first. I'm kinda like, because we know I'm gonna get Dharma in 10 seconds, so I'm kinda like saying we shouldn't die before that. Because we knew Noctis, actually Noctis from below is kinda surprising, I think that's a new one. So maybe that's just like literally like a surprising situation, and then after that it's kinda like, well, might as well try to do something. Junior sometimes can be so fast that sometimes I can just like walking through the zone and get a kill on Terra. That's kind of what I was going for there. I think it was like a reasonable guess. But yeah, the start is kind of like, well, if we didn't see Noctis coming through the zone, like we know he's gonna rush us. Like that's the only thing Clash can do at the start anyway. So if he's not the star at the top, then where else can he be? And we can't really like be dying before the armor, no matter what. Yeah, I think I get the double there, get the zone, get for our first actual like hold here. Or not really, like we just can't like finish them out fast enough. Yeah. But we get the penalty, so it's not like the worst situation to play from. And again, this is for their counter pick, by the way, if you're wondering. For a second counter pick. Armor pretty early, just because we have double armor, so it's better to just, I think, use them early, so they don't get picked off and you can get some crown, then use a second armor to actually get in. But yeah, now is the time to go in. I don't think if the call is not there. No, now it's just playing really deep and really well, I think, here. Just need to be a bit more decisive and a bit faster here. But it still works out nicely, like this the whole weekend. I mean, this is like looking for an opening and we're not exposed because that's not really our game strat. This is like a question, is this good or not? Like, I don't know, because sometimes with Junior you can just rush them and it can be surprisingly good, because you can be so fast to like get a pick on the guys and staying behind, don't really expect it. But there, I think, in the end, like, right when I have an up there, then Noctis is there, maybe it's... I mean, yeah, it's kind of hard to say because you don't remember exactly what you were thinking there, but yeah, I mean, it didn't work out, so maybe we can say it's a bad thing. But I think that we should maybe leave that to Watsam or Otsuru. Like, when they push in, kind of like trade sides with them and then come in from unexpected angles, because I think for FreeZe they can still, like, if you're coming from the same angle, it's pretty easy for them. Hotjar gets a nice pick here in Watsam. But yeah, for Watsam, the Otsuru to be behind is probably preferable. Another armor, pretty fast. Pick on FreeZe, I mean free. I mean, I think that was pretty solid, because we got, kind of got like the weakest link of their current hold, and then like worked our way in from there. We get a proper second hold, which is what we want here, of course. Alright, so again, I think the bombers kind of forces me in a position I don't really want to be in. Now Watsam is doing what I was suggesting, or like I was saying earlier, like playing from their court basically. Almost KO here even. Well, whenever it's almost KO, I just prioritize playing the zone here. Just drop a bomb there. We just play we just play it too passive, like there's no way around it. Because for me, I played this area by the zone, right? But for the rest of us, we need to be getting kills and the guys going for the zone. Instead, we all back up to do what exactly? Because I already have the zone painted, so why are we all backing up when our game plan is to go for KO? So instead, we have all here. I just don't understand this. Like, why are we not playing any other place in the map? Then they can all just like walk in and like paint the map from here because they don't have anything to watch out for. Even being from below, anything but this. Yeah, I think we just... It doesn't work that way. If you want to paint the zone, you can't all be painting from the same side, even if you're going for the KO. But that's so unfortunate, like them capping at 1, of course. Noticeably, they are pushed up a bit more than we are when they are playing hold. I don't think it's working that much better for them though. I think our hold makes sense with the caveats I said earlier. Well, here it's kind of like, well, it's obviously not gonna paint that against them, so I'm gonna have to go for a flank there. Like, yeah, we just like, against Otsuru, against these guys, not gonna paint. Only option is to, like, maybe get a pick on guy like here to paint the zone and then work from there, but yeah, didn't work. Again, like, this was 5-0 I was really frustrated about. Not really for losing. Because I know, like, FreeZe, no matter if you play, you know, even if you play really well, like, FreeZe is still gonna be a tough opponent to beat. But I hope I was explaining it well, like, how close these matches were in the end. Like, even if it was 5-0, like, it didn't really feel like I got 5-0. Like, I was hoping to get like a longer set. I was hoping to get more maps like won. And I tell you, I played 5-0s where, yeah, we got literally destroyed and had nothing to say, but I don't think this was it. Like, FreeZe played strong and they had little weaknesses to exploit in the whole set. But in so small mistakes, so small, like, indecisive moments, just cost us so much, and even some unlucky stuff, but that was like maybe in the minority. I'd say from this, I would like to work on properly splitting our front line, so how Otsuru and Watsam should play. That's one thing we need to do. And otherwise, yeah, this was really interesting watching. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and yeah, we are gonna play still Lemonade, Rift, and Radiance. I'm saying, I think we can win all of these sets. These are all very winnable sets. We don't have big things we need to fix, but fixing these things can have like big impact on sets like this. Because like all of these maps were more than winnable. We just need to like play a bit better in some situations and yeah, take it from there. Well, I think this has to be the first 05 analysis on YouTube on Splatoon, so hopefully that was interesting watching. And if you watched the whole thing, then yeah, that's nice. I expect a bit shorter video, but I kept talking, so here we are. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.